Greetings for the day. Greetings to you. Greetings to whoever might be listening. Today's topic is going to be the financial benefits of self-employment. Not only does it bring you more enjoyment, but it brings you more money too when you learn how to do it right, in spite of everything else and all the system telling you that you need to get a job. A job is our security, all that kind of nonsense. All those kind of ways the system just gets more dollars and cents from you. But I'm trying to educate people, give them the sense that they need to go through and do things by themselves, or for the most part with a team. But you know you gotta start somewhere, so most likely that's gonna be you sitting down and scheming up on all the dreams and goals that you have and making something happen based on that. So, financial benefits of self-employment. Little preview, gonna talk about how it gives you more control over the income that you're bringing in. It's gonna give you more access to the income that you're bringing in. It's gonna let you save money on taxes. You're gonna be paying less taxes at the end of the day if you do it right, for the most part. So I know once you're making a substantial amount of money, you're gonna have a higher tax rate. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, if you're making millions of dollars, like, you're gonna be paying more taxes, but you're still gonna be making more than the majority of the people out there. So, and also how it's gonna allow you to create more wealth for other people, which in turn is gonna bring you more wealth. So, I personally have been an entrepreneur, running and starting businesses almost 20 years now. It was not something that I was like one day like I'm just gonna go start a business and everything like that. No, it just kind of happened, and I just kind of grew to enjoy it, and then I found myself seeking out more opportunities where I had more control over what I was doing, talking to more people about how they could start businesses, stuff like that. And over time that just grew into me gaining more knowledge about self-improvement. And today I would have to say that everything's going okay. Not where I'm at, not where I want to be at yet, but I mean, that's probably gonna always be the story, you know. I've definitely accomplished a lot of things that I set out to accomplish. Definitely accomplished a lot of things that in the past I did not think would be possible. But you know, the more I accomplish, the higher I set my goals. And the more I accomplish higher setting goals, the more confidence I have to set even higher goals. And really, I'm at a point now where I'm seeing it's like, you know, whatever I really set my mind to. And I believe that everybody has that ability. You just have to, you know, start small. Or really, you probably don't even have to start small. That's just, you know, it's wherever your mind is at. If you think you gotta start small, start small. If you feel like, hey, I'm just gonna go big right away, just go big right away. Because it's really, you know, whatever you feel like you can achieve really is what happens. The goals and dreams that you set are more likely to become reality. Alright, so yeah, just to sum things up quickly again, I'm gonna talk about how income gives you more control, keep more of it, pay less taxes, create wealth for others. So really, what I'm talking about with control over the income amount that you're earning is, I mean, the biggest thing here is, you know, you don't have any boss or corporate structure or investors. Well, hopefully you don't have investors, because if you do, then you're kind of working for somebody else. So, and the way businesses are running today, you really don't need investors. I mean, you could take on investors, I'd say, if it's a good opportunity, But you know, unless your business is failing and it's a last resort where you need investors to come in and they take control. But even then, I mean, personally, if it was me, I would probably just, you know, take it as a loss and a learning experience and start up a new business instead of put myself in a position where, in order to keep what I'm doing, I have to give control over to somebody else. So yeah, basically, you know, your boss doesn't really decide how much you make. There's a direct link between the effort you put into whatever business venture you're doing and the amount of money that you make based off that. And I mean, nothing's guaranteed. Like, it's not guaranteed that if you start a business, you're gonna make money. For the most part, you're probably gonna fail at first, but that's how you learn. And you know, smart entrepreneurs seek out successful mentors. So I would have to say that, you know, having successful mentors is gonna be the biggest factor between failure and success. Also, how quickly you find success. So there's that direct link to the effort you put in and the income you're making. Also, you're going to be setting your own financial goals. You know, you don't have the boss telling you that they want to generate whatever amount of sales or income for the business, and that's the amount that you go for. Is really you. Like, you're really saying, like, you know, this year I want to make $50,000. This year I want to make $1 million. This year I want to make $1 billion. And from my experience and what I've seen, when someone really sets a goal and focuses their mind on that goal and puts in the work, they usually come pretty close to hitting that goal. So, yeah, there's a lot of power in that. Basically, the next point that I'd like to make is, for the most part, you're keeping all of the income that you bring in with self-employment. Now, I mean, there's expenses and everything like that, but if you put it into perspective of working for someone else, when you work for someone else, the amount of income or money that you generate for that other person or that other business, you don't keep that. I mean, most people, if they're lucky, they get to keep about a third of the income that they generate for their business. Most cases it's like a fifth or a tenth. So really, employers are out there thinking like, you know, how do I set up something where, you know, the person that I'm paying is generating at least 5 to 10 times of what I'm paying them for this business. So, you know, if I mean, obviously, if you're doing your own thing, then you don't have to give away 2/3 or 9/10 of what you make. You decide what you do with all the money that you make, whether you want to pay yourself with it, how much you want to pay yourself with it, what to invest back into the company, you know, things like that. Another big advantage of financially of being self-employed is you're probably going to pay a lot less in taxes, mainly because you can write off anything that's work related. And if you're doing this right, then, you know, I say work, but really if you're self-employed, you ideally want to be working on a business that is something that you enjoy, is like a hobby, something that you would be doing for free. You know, something that, you know, if you were already a billionaire, you would be spending your time doing this. So it shouldn't really feel like work. I mean, parts of it, you know, you're always going to have like different aspects, and then different aspects that really like feel like work to you because it's not your strong point, you know, maybe even doing taxes. But over time, you get better at it. You realize that those are the areas that you can outsource and hire out people who are better, and you can just focus more and more at what you're good at. And then as that happens, you're going to be able to generate more income for the business just by focusing all your efforts on what you are better at. So Yeah, with taxes, you're generally writing off anything that's work related, which includes personal development. You know, learning more about your business, going to seminars where you can become just like a better person, increase your knowledge, and I mean, this is gonna apply to your business, but at the end of the day, it's really gonna make you a better person too. And I know some businesses they do, they'll pay for education stuff like that, but for the most part, they're really telling you, go get this MBA, we'll pay you more. They're really in control of what area of your life you're improving, which is not the case with self-employment. So even a big part that I was surprised about was like, you know, I've never rented out office space. One of the first businesses I was a part of, we rented out some office space and we, found ways to, share the office space with other people and everything like that. But at the end of the day, when I looked at it, I was like, I can start businesses without requiring any office space. I can just work from home, uh, which is what I'm currently doing. Although I do have plans and goals to build a team, and once that happens, is probably going to be necessary for office space unless it's all digital. But time will tell. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm able to write off a portion of the rent that I pay. So basically, let's say I have a 2 bedroom apartment. I'm using one of the bedrooms as office space. That's maybe like a third of the rent I pay. I can write off on taxes because that's like my personal office. Um, you know, Anytime you have to travel for work, which like I said before, should be more of like a passion or a hobby. So you know, traveling expenses are written off. Traveling to go to seminars or personal development type of events. Um, Meals. I mean, when you're taking people out to eat, if it's business related and you guys are talking business, you can write off half the meal. And really, I know from my experience and from other successful entrepreneurs, uh, they learn ton by taking mentors out to eat. So, find people who are doing what you want to do, who know something that you want to know. Um, usually entrepreneurs are happy to help. You know, ask them for advice. They'll give you an answer. They don't want anything out of it. It's like an abundance mentality. They realize that the more they give, the more they're gonna get back. But I mean, a lot of times they're busy too, busy people, right? So at the end of the day, if someone's busy and you say, hey, how about I take you out to dinner real quick? They're more likely to be like, stop and say, okay, yeah, I'll take a break from what I gotta do, go out, and then you got like an hour and a half to just go and pick their brain, see what they're about, get any kind of advice, stuff like that. So basically, you're paying for only half the meal, which if you're taking another person out, you're only really paying for your own meal. You can write off the meal that you're paying for them, and you're getting so much knowledge for free. And this is a really big insight that I had, just that I learned from other people. I was like, when I first started going to entrepreneur events, stuff like that, I was like, why is everybody trying to take all the instructors or the successful people here? Why are they all trying to take them out to eat? And then I realized, oh, because they can write it off for taxes, and that's a very good way to gain information. So you got business purchases. I mean, let's say you need to get a new computer for your work. As long as you're using it for work, you can write that off. That's usually not the case with a business. If it is a business, it's technically still their computer. And, if you stop working there, they're going to want it back, stuff like that. Vehicles. I mean, not only if you need to purchase a vehicle, but if you're using your own vehicle, if you're using it for work, you can write off things like mileage. I mean, at the end of the day, like that's relatively small compared to all the other things, but when people first get started and they don't really see many things that they can write off, that's a really good first step, is just start writing off the mileage that you use to get from A to B when it's work related. But then when you reach that higher level, I mean, you see CEOs and successful people with private jets. Uh, they're buying these jets, but at the end of the day, they're writing off not only the purchase of the jets, but the travel expenses as tax related, which, depending on your line of work, could, just the fact that you're able to get on a jet and fly to 2 different meetings across the country in a day, um, which you probably wouldn't be able to do with, buying an airline ticket and going through all the hassle of going through airports, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're really, really expanding your reach and expanding your ability to make money. And, at the same time, is like, I mean, that's pretty cool to be flown around and be able to like write that off for taxes. And then, you have non-physical things like business expenses like marketing, money you put into, your website, online presence. If you're gonna buy a billboard, t-shirts, whatever, stickers, all that kind of stuff. If it's for your business, you can write it off. And also you've got, people that work for you. Um, for myself, I've never really physically hired people, like, sat down face to face with an interview. All the people I've hired have been through sites like Upwork. So basically what I'm doing is, I might have a Skype interview with the person, but I'm hiring people to do not hourly work, but like a project. So basically the price is already set. We agree, negotiate it up front. This price for this job. Take you what, a week, 2 weeks to get done. Get it all figured out from the start. The contract's there, the money's in escrow. Not a lot that can really go wrong. So yeah, I mean, you're writing that off too. Um, so getting to the last point I really want to make here is that you're not only creating wealth for yourself, but when you're controlling your self-employment over time, you're gonna need help. And maybe you don't even need it, but once, I know for me it was pretty difficult to take the leap in hiring people when it's like that's the income. My mind was saying, this is the income I made. If I hire this person, it's kind of a gamble. But yeah, I don't even think like that anymore because I've hired so many people to realize that you know you need a team to really be like more successful. Like there's a limit you can do by yourself, and not only that, but there's a lot of things that you're not going to want to do that people are going to be better at. I mean, just taxes even, like, if you hire someone else to do your taxes, not only does it free up so much time, but they're probably going to be better at finding ways for you to save more money, stuff like that, than if you did it yourself. And even if you're paying them however many $100s or thousands of dollars to take care of that for you, just the time alone that you would have saved would make up for it, not to mention the extra money that you would save on taxes and things like that. So really, you're hiring people and you're bringing people into your culture, and hopefully it's a positive culture and everything like that. But I really believe that there's a direct link between the value that you create for other people and the value that you receive back. So I mean, really, when you're doing your business, like, the main objective should be to provide value for people. Like, the more value you provide, the more enjoyment and wealth and everything that you're going to receive in return. So, you're not focused on providing value for your company, you're focused on providing value for other people. And really, that's a huge problem I see with business today is, you know, there's so much outside influences from board of directors, investors, stocks, things like that. It's like the companies. A lot of businesses, they've grown to become more concerned about their stock price and making sure their board of directors and investors are happy than actually their customers. So yeah, I mean, you want to be in a position where you can just focus on providing value for other people. You want to make other people's lives better, and that in turn is going to make your life better. So yeah, it's like a win-win game. Just always be thinking win-win. So I hope you gained some value from today's topic. Hopefully it got you thinking about ways that you can, break free from the current kind of majority mentality of, working for somebody else. See a better way. So, if you liked it, go ahead and smash the likes. Any kind of comment you want to leave a comment. Any questions, anything like that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Have a great day.